How would you describe your job in 4 words? How did it feel hitting math and numbers but still ending up in finance?
Yeah, that's a funny thing.
What's the secret to learning a language efficiently or becoming profound at it?
Hi, I'm Prajo Malik, a full-time high school student. I'm trying to learn from the life journeys of professionals from different fields and bringing those stories to you. So let's take this walk together. I have a very special guest on my show today. She is from Japan and has completed her higher studies from Taiwan. She has worked in many big Asian cities such as Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Singapore. Despite not liking math when she was growing up, she has made a successful career in an industry dominated by numbers. She has given me advice about different aspects of life. And who could introduce her better than herself? So let's take a close listen.
So my name is Yukari Kunimoto now. My maiden name was Iso, but when I got married I changed to Kunimoto. I'm from Japan. I'm born and raised in Japan.
Okay.
Occupation is so I sort of right now is part-time job. I'm doing it for working for Hong Kong-based asset management company. It's an asset management company. It's the company that manage your money, manage investments and things like that. So I work for that company for supporting the company as well as calling clients sometimes to advise or not advice, but like selling a product sometimes. And something that I like to do, I like exercising.
Oh, okay.
So I go every day. I go like lockdown is a bit difficult, but like I go running or swimming sometimes. Well, not now, but like before the lockdown.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my hobby.
So we will get to your job and other interests in a while. But first, let's start from the very beginning, your school and childhood.
Okay.
So where did you originally study?
So I'm born and raised in Japan. So I just went to local school, kindergarten, primary school, junior high, and high school, university, all in Japan. But I think junior high and high school, I went to private school, girl only school, girl high school, and university because I'm interested in learning English.
Okay.
So because local school, it's all educated Japanese, but I always interested in foreign language. So my university, it's specializing in learning all different kinds of language. I major in Chinese, English. So at university I study mainly Chinese, and but then my interest is always like speaking English and things like that. So I also studied English. I did the exchange program at the university. I went to Taiwan for 1 year and to study Chinese, obviously, and then went to Beijing for internship. So I can use my Chinese skill. Then I was working at a hotel in Beijing. That I did it for half year. Then I graduate. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So you said you also studied outside of Japan.
Yeah.
How is learning in Japan different than Taiwan? How is the Japanese teaching style different?
I would say teaching style in Japan and Taiwan, I don't think that much difference. They very focused on like memorizing and then exams and things like that. Japan and Taiwan is more or less the same. I saw many like after school type of place that the children can go and learn and prepare for exams. But what I learned during the university year, I took a course for like international studies, where many students from international students can come and join the class. So it's just not the class is not only for Japanese students, that only also for the foreign students. Because my university is has a lots of different language departments like English, German, French, Italy, Russians, and
Yeah.
all that. So many professors from all those countries, as well as those students come to my university to study Japanese too. So one of the class that I join is a class to study together, all of them together. So I'm Japanese, but you might sit next to from Indian or
Yeah.
Filipino. That class was so much fun. Then I learned a lot of things. So before I used to think that what I study, how I study is normal, but then I learned that it's actually like many people, many kinds of people have different kinds of experience and different kinds of thought and ideas, and the class is based on like a discussion. So I really enjoy that. And so yeah, Japan and I think many Asian countries doesn't really focus on like
Discussion based.
Yes, yeah. That so I learned that from that class. That was very interesting.
So you enjoyed discussion based classrooms and the diversity of the classroom.
Yes, I would say that. I'm a shy person, so I'm
Yeah.
not like go ahead and hi, I have opinion. I can't do that, but I really enjoy that. Really enjoy the difference. That it's really different from my experience.
So how would you describe your overall experience in school, apart from discussion based learning?
At Japanese schools,
Any overall education as a whole?
overall education. I would say I somewhat I appreciate how the Japanese school, the education system, so that because I had to study a lot, but because I study a lot, I get to the place where I am, and because if I didn't study,
Yeah.
you couldn't get to the place. But then at the same time, I also appreciate that I took the course, so that I realized there is so many other different way of education and then studying system in this world. Yeah.
So out of all the other different classrooms
Yeah.
and activities you've
Yes.
taken, what was your favorite learning opportunity or class?
When I'm little, I like how do you say it? I don't know how to put it in English, but like the subject that I learn about the world.
Oh,
Like,
history?
History, and then sometimes I don't know how to put it, but you learn about society as well.
Oh,
history,
okay, yeah.
including history. I don't know how do you call it? Those class?
Civics.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
civic. Yeah. I
Okay.
like those subjects, and history also,
Mhm.
especially world history. I really liked it. Japanese history too. I really liked English class.
English class.
Yeah, I always excited about the class because I learn about new thing. And I like PE class because I get to enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? Do you like?
Yeah, I like history a lot. I like
Yeah?
speaking and learning about society as a whole.
Yeah,
The government
right.
systems
Yes.
and all of
Yes.
that.
Interesting, right?
Yeah, very interesting. I have a question going on you liking English class.
Yeah.
What made English so interesting? Was it the mechanics of the speaking language or the writing?
I think both. I would say both, because when I saw alphabets for the first time, I was really fascinated
Wow.
about the different types of like writing.
Yeah.
So I really liked learning about ABC and things like that. And also when I watch TV shows,
Yeah.
I used to watch a lot of Japanese TV drama, but like when I watch like a movie, it made me really excited.
Yeah.
As, wow, it's so different, like it's really different from Japanese drama and things like that. So it makes me want to learn about the language too.
Yeah. Any sports that you would enjoy or play competitively in school?
Yes, I did the swimming.
Competitive swimming?
Competitive swimming. Well, not too competitive because I'm not too fast, but like junior high school and high school, I was in a swimming team.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So did you enjoy studying?
Yeah, for a certain subject, like English, I didn't learn about like reading
Yeah.
and learning about grammars and things like that. But I hated math. I couldn't. It's also, I don't know. I think I didn't make much effort too, and then I think it's also, if I don't know, if it is fun to learn, maybe I'll.
Yeah, same with me.
Yeah.
The subjects that I'm not interested in, I just don't bother as as going out of your way to do in a subject that you actually like.
Yeah.
So how did you deal with these classes that you didn't like much in school?
But you have to do it, right?
Yeah.
To because if when I think about how I did, so at the high school, there was a university that I really wanted to go, so that I can study English, study about the foreign cultures and all that. To get to those university, you have to take math.
Yeah.
But the math, the level that you that required is not as high as go to medical school and all that. So you have to do the basics. So you force yourself to study, but luckily it's a very basic. So you don't have to do
not
too
that
much.
much of
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any tips to do well in school, considering that you got into the university?
Yeah. I think it's important that to know what you like, to know what you don't like too. For example, I really liked English, and then learning about the other culture and foreign, like overseas things. So it gets you going, right? So it gets you going. So like, if you want to do this in the future, you have to do this. Then you get you motivated. Like even though you hate math, but you have to do it. Then you do it. Yeah. So I think it's important to know what you like and what you want to be in, like, which university or which school you want to go or something.
Do you have any tips to do well in school, considering that you got into the university?
Yeah. I think it's important that to know what you like, to know what you don't like too. For example, I really liked English, and then learning about the other culture and foreign, like overseas things. So it gets you going, right? So it gets you going. So like, if you want to do this in the future, you have to do this. Then you get you motivated. Like even though you hate math, but you have to do it. Then you do it. Yeah. So I think it's important to know what you like and what you want to be in, like, which university or which school you want to go or something.
So you discovered that you had you loved English at a very young age.
Yeah.
So what did you initially want to become?
It's funny. In Japan, being a flight attendant is a really job that everybody wants to be, and then I think it's Asian thing. But so during university, I was thinking, okay, I wanna apply job to JAL, Japan Airline, or NA, Air Nippon Airways, and Cathay Pacific or something. But my height has a problem. Yeah. To be flight attendant in this region, you have to be higher than 160 centimeters or something, and I'm 158.
Okay.
I'm like, oh no, I'm like 2 centimeters shorter. So like, so I think I applied anyway, but then I didn't pursue.
Okay.
And so I'm also looking for a job that you can travel. So some trading company in Japan, or or there's some like manufacturer company also
Okay.
I considered, but then I saw during the job hunting season where did I find it? I think I googled something. I googled and then where the English the company who can hire like English speaking or something. And I saw one company called JP Morgan was looking for people, but they're hiring, but how to say it's so they're doing a seminar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw when I googled, JP Morgan said they have a seminar for new graduate people. So okay, it sounds interesting. I went, and it was really good because it's especially for in Japan for women to succeed or women to carry on working long time is at the time was not so easy.
Okay.
So when I went to the seminar, there a bunch of women sitting, and there's no men, and then they're like talking really confidently, and then like women can succeed in the financial industry and all that. So I got very excited. So I applied, and I got the job. That's why. Yeah.
So that's your inspiration.
Yeah.
If you could be back in school and had the opportunity to take any job you wanted, what job would you take?
I think also during the university I wanted to be correspondent, for the media company. Yeah. So like when you watch CNN or something, there's a reporter like reporting something.
Okay.
I was really fascinated by those jobs, and then I think I'll be interested to pursue that way as well. If like 20 years ago, less than 20 years ago, but like if I'm like university 4th year or 3rd year, what do you want to be? And then maybe I'll pursue that too.
So you like writing?
Yeah. More like I wanted to like travel and then see the world.
Okay.
I thought that those writing skills can come along.
Okay. Do you have any advice that you can give to a student that's struggling to pick a future job?
Advice. I think I would ask them, what do you like to do? Yeah. And if they say sports or something, that's great. And then sometimes it's difficult, like even though you like sports, it's just maybe you like watching sports or you like doing sports. It doesn't really maybe connect to the job, but I think it's important to pick up some job, to be independent yourself. You can't. So when you become independent, you realize so much you can do, and you can pursue sports as a hobby or something. And so I don't know if I'm answering correctly, but then I think it's important to know what you like and what you don't like too, because if someone told you to do certain thing but you absolutely hate doing that, then you make yourself miserable. So I think it's important to know what you like and what you don't like, what industry makes you excited and not excited. As well.
After you went to your university in Taiwan, was communication hard for you at that time?
Yes, it was very difficult. Although I learned 2 years, I learned 2 years of Mandarin, Japan before going to Taiwan, but then it's really different. Like, studying Chinese on your paper in a book, and then speaking to someone and then hearing someone saying, it's really, really different as well.
How did you overcome these challenges?
I think when you're there, you just have to.
No choice
You have
but
to go and like pick up food, and you have to socialize yourself, and then and also you want to pick up Mandarin because you have 1 year to study and to spend your time in there. So I guess automatically, okay, let's go and learn languages. And yeah.
Speaking of languages, how many languages do you speak currently?
I'm not really good at Mandarin now,
Okay.
but I can still understand. Yeah. So it's language you have to practice every day. So it's been 10 years I think since I left China. So my Mandarin is becoming really really bad. But then I still understand when people are saying like a context.
Yeah.
Then I can understand. English, Japanese, those three.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the secret to learning a language efficiently or becoming profound at it?
Just watch TV is good, but you also have to practice speaking.
Okay.
So if you want to study Chinese, you make Chinese friends and
Okay.
speak to them and listen to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was university difficult?
To study?
Yeah, to study and just to be in.
No. I think it was fun. University was fun.
Oh, why would you say that?
Because you have all the time to study, and
Oh, yeah.
there is exams and things like that. So there is a time that you absolutely go to cafe or something and then sit there for hours and hours
Yeah.
and memorizing things, and then but thinking back, those times are really precious,
You mentioned you have all the time and freedom. How
Yeah.
did you manage this freedom? How do you stop it from going overhand or wasting time?
When you're a student, I think you have to have a goal. Like if you don't have that, you can't focus, or you don't have motivation to study. But if you have a goal, then I think you kind of make yourself to start picking up the book and then read as well. So I think it's important to have a goal. Like for example, I want to get this score next exam or something, or I want to get the good performance for the Mandarin or something. Then you have a motivation, and then you go study.
Also, I realized that you picked international relations and politics.
Yeah.
These are heavy subjects. What motivated you to pick these subjects?
I think I was really interested in like history and then those civics subjects. So that time, I think at the time when I was in university, 2002 to 2007, it's many things going on in the world, especially like China and Japan and the US, those power relationships, and also all the news and things like that. So I wanted to study what was happening and why it happened and those things. Yeah.
So out of interest, you took these classes.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy them?
Yeah, I think so. I read the books, and luckily the professor that I was under, he was American, and he's very interesting person to talk to. Yeah. So so I think it's also important to during university. I think when you do thesis and things like that, I think if you find a professor that you like or you can respect to, then it'll be easier for you to go and study as well. Yeah.
How did you get your first job, or how did you apply to your first job? What was the process?
So the first job that I took is the JP Morgan one. I found a seminar and went there, and I really liked the company, and then how they treat the women employee in the organization. Like they there are many women in the organization and working like a like a man, not man, but like a, equal,
Yeah.
treated be as equal. And so the process was, I think it was there was a exam too. There's an exam and then a couple of interviews. That's it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taking the job at JP Morgan, was it exactly like you imagined, or was it something different that you might have?
So I never really thought about working in finance actually,
Okay.
because I learned languages,
Yeah.
not the finance, not the mathematics.
Yeah.
But my first job was operation. So I just had to be really diligent to checking numbers and
Yeah.
things like that. So yeah, it wasn't something that I was expecting. So it's not, and also after a half year also, I realized I don't like this job.
Yeah.
I realized I don't like, sit there and then check the number, all day long, and then check the number against the system, things like that. I really, really hated it. And then I said to my manager, I want to change.
Yeah.
I need to have a change because it's this job makes me miserable,
Yeah.
and I really didn't like the manager as well. So my manager's manager found an opportunity in Hong Kong.
Okay.
So, Yukari, it's the same job, but do you want to move to Hong Kong? So I said, yeah, of course, because I always wanted to go overseas.
Yeah.
I don't want to stuck in Japan. So I said I will take the opportunity, and so I went there. It was absolutely the same job,
Okay.
checking numbers and all
Okay,
that.
so-
But the atmosphere was all different.
Okay.
The teammates are all more international. Back in Japan, it was all Japanese and
Okay.
all the politeness and all that. So I didn't really like it. But when I went to Hong Kong, then Singapore, atmosphere was very different. But at the end of the day, it was the same job, checking operation. I really didn't like it. So when I was in Singapore, I changed my job
Okay.
to sales.
Oh,
So
okay.
sales is more outgoing, and then you have to talk to people, you have to pick up the call and things like that. Yeah, I enjoyed it, and with the job, I moved again back to Hong Kong, and I did the same sort of job for 10 years. Yeah, 8 years. 8 years, I would say. Yeah.
When you got the job at JP Morgan, how did it feel to hating math and numbers the whole time, but still ending up in finance?
Sorry.
How did it feel hating math and
yeah.
numbers, but still ending up in finance?
Yeah, that's a funny thing. So, so I still don't like looking at the numbers, but although banking and things. So you do still looking at the numbers.
Yeah.
But then in a huge organization like JP Morgan, there's so many other functions that some function that you absolutely need to know, like all the calculation, mathematics, and all the modeling, financial modeling things. There is a department for that, but there is other department for you have to be friendly, you have to be outgoing, so you can talk to the JP Morgan's product to other people. So it doesn't have to have the financial modeling brain, but you can still function in a huge organization. I believe that JP Morgan is such a huge organization. They have like HR department, human resources. So those people need to be more, need to see the talents, right, in the people, and then you have to go to university fair or something, and then talk to the students and things like that. So it doesn't have to have mathematical skill to go into big organization like that. You have other skill to add value to. So yeah.
Outside of JP Morgan, what other companies did you work for?
So after JP, I worked for it's a Swedish bank, SEB, Scandinavian Security Bank.
Okay.
I did the assistant sales. Then I changed to Bank of Montreal. It's a Canadian bank. Yeah. Out there, I worked like about 8 years, and then I changed within the BMO, Bank of Montreal. I changed to BMO Asset Management. Did a couple years, then I came here.
So you did a lot of traveling around in your career.
Yes. So when I'm at with Bank of Montreal, my job was to selling their Canadian investment product to Japanese. So I speak to lots of Japanese customers, and at the company I speak English.
Yeah.
You know, I report and everything in everything in English.
Yeah.
But when I speak to clients in Japan, it's a Japanese.
Okay.
So it was interesting. I traveled to Japan a lot every month. Every month.
Oh, okay.
Travel to Japan. Yeah.
Which one of these jobs would you do again if you got the chance to?
I think I like traveling.
Okay.
Maybe because I stuck in Penang right now. Maybe. I think it would be cool to do the like a job that requires to travel to Japan,
Okay.
and then because in that way I can add my value because I speak Japanese and English. So if the company or if I want to sell something to Japanese, or if I need to sell Japanese stuff overseas customers or something, like I can make a bridge, you know?
Yeah. Speaking of learning, what are some values you learned throughout your career?
What did I learn?
Yeah.
I learned that it's important to pursue what you like too, and but also like to when you work for something or someone or some company, you have to have a colleague that you like or you respect to.
Yes.
Or otherwise, it's a group of people, right? It's a group of people. So even though you really like the things you like, the job that you do, but if you absolutely hate the people that you work with, then your life become really miserable. So I think it's important to have a good colleague and good boss.
Okay.
If you don't have that, just leave.
Oh.
Yeah, and even though you think it's a good opportunity, but it's I don't know. That's what I learned. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think also it's important to see yourself in 5 years. What you want to be. So what's your goal? And then if what you're doing is something to help to get to the goal, then do it.
Okay.
But then if you think it's what you are doing is not really connecting to what you want to be in 5 years or 10 years, then don't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So always have a clear goal.
Yes, yeah, it's important.
Out of all the opportunities and jobs you've taken in many different countries, what country was your favorite and why?
I think I like Singapore. Now I think about it, because also Hong Kong is okay too. I don't like working in Japan.
Oh, okay.
It's because Japan is sadly they have such an old way of thinking. Like when you walk into the boardroom or when you walk into meeting, there's no women.
Yeah.
So women is always like one step back, and then let the man to speak or let the man to decide things. It's just how it is. I know it's changing.
Yeah.
It's really different, like from 20 years ago, 30 years ago, but it's like that. So, but Hong Kong and Singapore more liberal, more casual also, and more opportunity for you to speak as well, and so I like Hong Kong and Singapore. Hong Kong and Singapore is similar, but I think Singapore has a little bit laid back feeling.
Okay. For my last question,
Yes.
if you had a time machine, what moment would you want to relive?
Well, it's a difficult one. Maybe the time after my, maybe, I don't know, maybe mid-20s when I was single before marriage, and what I do is always just go to work, go have fun.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
Thank you so much for your time.
No, it's okay. My pleasure. Thank you.